Last week, Stuart Ross's consistent finishes helped stretch the points gap to Keenan Harris, but with only 17 points between them, the championship is far from over as we enter the final round. Will Ross's consistency continue, or will Harris find a way to fluster the Brit? We'll find out soon as we get ready to watch the season finale of the BiS F1600 Championship, and you'll see it all live here on the Global SimRacing Channel. Hi, I'm Adam Lindgren, and with me in the booth is Robert Covry and Daniel Zippy Solomon. Behind the scenes is our director Daniel Costello, and he's using cameras provided by Dougie Beard. Virginia International Raceway is a fast-flowing, unforgiving track, and to find out more about this snake in the grass, let's take you down to our track guide.
Welcome to Virginia International Raceway. Only a short trip away from the state's border with North Carolina, this track has had the rare blessing of being resurrected from the dead. After closing for a quarter century, once it was rebuilt, it quickly began to draw major sports car series to its halls. The new owners didn't skimp on refurbishing the place either. An impressive 5 versions are available on iRacing with a range between 1 and 4 miles in length between them. With that much pavement, the plethora of corners have earned some colorful nicknames. The horseshoe kicks things off right away with a never-ending double apexer that tends to suck the greedy out into its runoff. Later on, the climbing S's force you to thread the needle before spinning you out into the steep drop at South Bend. Then, of course, there's Oak Tree, which sadly no longer sees its namesake landmark on the inside of the turn, but still retains its frustrating difficulty. Let's not forget one of the scariest obstacles at the end of the lap, the roller coaster. The incredible speed drivers carry up into this blind braking zone is what causes it to require such immense bravery to get the most out of the lap. While passing can be tricky here, the long backstretch nicknamed Madison Avenue and the lengthy front stretch do tend to offer enough of a draft that you can still give a go at a pass. Still, track position is usually an important factor in most races. With the picturesque backdrop of the Appalachians around them, fans are not left wanting when they come to watch drivers face off at this historic track. It's no wonder the circuit has found success in its second chance at life.
Well, Rob, VIR is an exciting place to race, especially when you're doing the North layout.
Yeah, it's long high speeds, heavy braking, and lots of opportunity to take advantage of another car that just kind of misses its entry or just misses it through heading up into the roller coaster. It's going to be an interesting event to watch for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. With 17 turns, 2.25 miles, it's a long track for these small cars, but let's talk a little bit about the championship we got going on here, because things are tight all the way around. In the Drivers' Championship, we have Stuart Ross up in front with Keenan Harris only 17 points behind. Both of them very tight, battling for that first and second position. That's a pretty big gap down to Stuart Verweyen as well. And then we got Connor Janettis as well in the 4th position and Joseph Yang in 5th position. Then it's pretty tight back there for 6th on back to 10th between John Benoit and Cedric Ohayon, Shan Vicari, as well as Jonathan Brooks and Graham Lobin as well in the 10th position for the driver's standings. But Robert, why don't you take us through the teams?
Well, the team standings have a couple battles going on right now. Gladiator Road Racing has 43-point lead over Britain West Motorsport, but Lima Racing is battling Britain Motorsport for that P2 spot. Not much of a difference in them. Intrace Britannia iSports is in a battle with 4 other teams, really close, tight points. CC Motorsports at 112, Generic Simsport at 118, Jafferman's Garage 129, and then following it up with ZRL Rainbow Warriors 163, and Viking Hot Rod Racing to 228 from the lead, and Willis Racing with no scoring currently. Well,
there we go, the teams and points standings, but let's take you through the race details. As you know, it's going to be 3 15-minute sprints for these cars, with the top 10 inverting for the third race. One spare car per sprint for these drivers, with a drive-through at 12 incidents and a disqualification at 17 incidents. This is the 6th and final round for these drivers, so everything is up for grabs here, and qualifying is well underway. Just under 5 minutes to go, and right now, the number 6 of Connor Klebine is out there taking with the provisional pole position with a 129.466 for those drivers. Keenan Harris in second position right now in the number 18, about a quarter of a second back. And Rob, these times, especially at the front of the field, are a little bit more spread out than we've seen, but then from third on back, it's really tight for all these drivers.
Yeah, you look at third on back, and we're looking at hundredths of a second, half that. Everybody's really close. Everybody's got the same pace. It's going to make for some exciting racing down straightaways to see who's brave and who's just going to go for it at the last minute.
Absolutely. So Connor Klebine up there in the lead, and now we see Stephen Verwyen right now in that third position. It's kind of running around up ahead of John Benoit, as well as in the 8th position, or rather in the 10th position, number 8 machine. So yeah, as we see right there, there he goes. Off is Steven in that Gladiator Road Racing machine. So unfortunately not going to improve his time right now in third position. Still has time to get out there and complete a lap if he jumps into the pits and gets back out there. But with 1 minute 30 lap time, it's going to be close, yeah.
Yeah, but out lap, he might get a final lap in there if he gets in quick, gets out quick.
All right, so Keenan Harris right now in second position, trying to make his way around as well. The number 18 machine for that generic sim sports machine, currently with a 129.738 in that machine, trying to improve by little over of a quarter of a second. Let's see whether or not he can get it done on this lap. Coming across the line, trying to improve that time. Coming up to the grid now, going past the barn, crossing the line. Let's see whether or not he improves. No, still slower by about half a second. So unfortunate for him. Michael Broomhead, series organizer, currently in 6th position in the In-Trace Britannia iSports machine, currently trying to get himself improved up into that top 5.
Yeah, it's all about getting the right line through here and keeping up maximum speed, especially on the shoot out to the long straight. You know, coming through the roller coaster, that's where you can lose a lot of time and not even realize you've lost it until you cross that line.
Absolutely, and around here with these cars, the draft definitely is going to be something that affects them, especially on the back straightaway. That's where they're going to be finding a decent amount of time. Stuart Ross, though, extremely loose coming through that corner, going up the hill just a little bit. He's going to park it to the side of the field, get in the way of Michael Broomhead just a little bit. There we see Stephen Verwyen again in that 4th position. He's been bumped down to 4th by Stuart Ross, so he's doing his best job to try and improve.
Yeah, Verwyen's, he's got a bit of traffic here, and you saw him get a little bit squirrely through the one corner, so we'll see what he's got here for an actual final lap. He'll probably only get one more in.
There we see trying to improve the draft, but unfortunately got side by side there with some of the other drivers there, so unfortunately not able to improve his time either. So Steven's staying in that 4th position. John's going off track though there, currently in 11th position for Lima Racing, not really improving his times that much.
Yeah, it's so easy to go off track here. Just the car just wants to slide and just wants to roll up, and it's very easy to flip that grass, and once you're on the grass, you're holding on for dear life and hoping you're not into a wall.
Keenan Harris trying to improve his times as well. Keenan right now just going through the first corner, now through NASCAR Bend as well, trying to improve his time, clipping the corner just a little bit, trying to use as much of that track as possible. There you see on the brakes that downshift, able to rotate the car a little bit more. So these little bullets may seem slow, but in the car, when you're down that low to the ground, these soapboxes can feel fast.
Yeah, these cars are so small. It's amazing how much you feel in these cars, what kind of speed you're doing. You think you're going much faster than you really are.
And unfortunately, Keenan Harris off track there means that he will not be able to finish that lap. So Keenan Harris, unfortunately, going to be not able to complete the lap. Alex Ellis, though, right now in the 5th position, usually a very fast driver challenging for pole positions, but currently half a second off of the pole times. So Alex Ellis will likely not be able to finish his lap as the timer's expiring quite quickly here. 20 seconds left for these drivers. So Alex has a lot of work to do, currently drifting the car through the corner. Looks like Keenan Harris would have been the last one to cross the line to improve his time, but unfortunately unable to do so. Keith Loban in the 15th position for Jeffman's Garage. Not able to improve his time either. So that's going to take us to the grid for the first sprint. We're going to be starting off with Connor Klubine as well as Keenan Harris on the front row. We've got Stuart Ross on row 2 next to Stephen Vervian. Then we've got Alex Ellis in 5th with Brent Sterling in 6th. Michael Broomhead lining up at 7th with Shane Vickery in 8th position. Ron Gale's going to start off at 9th with Graham Loban in the 10th spot. And then on the next slide, we got John Benoit in the 11th position with William Pritchard in 12th. Dave Peterson 13th, and Rich Meesters lining up at 14th position. Keith Loban is going to line up in 15th with Dave O'Brien in the 16th position. Well, Robert, it's going to be a tough race off the line for these guys, especially with the standing start, so it's going to be a challenge for them to get going.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting heading into that horseshoe right off the start, and to just see who's willing to give and who wants to take.
A minute left on the grid up. Michael Broomhead, the only one to left to grid. He jumps on. Overcast, 77 in the air, 78 on track. It's going to be really fast for these drivers to get off the line. Waiting for that green flag. And there it is. Green flag is out, and it's a good start for Connor Klubine right now. Keenan Harris with a decent start as well, but not better than Connor, who's able to drift over to that inside line, able to stay on the inside. Keenan's going to try and do it around the outside. We'll see how they do into the braking into turn 1. Keenan doing a great job around the outside, hanging it out there, but gets into the grade. Can't get the power down. He's going to have to fall into line behind Connor.
Yeah, a really good start by everybody. Got through that first corner all nice and clean. Didn't see a lot of pushing and shoving. I think everybody's just going to relax for the first lap, get lined up, grab some draft, and go from there.
Absolutely. Michael Broomhead taking a look at Brent Sterling in the background for that 7th position. Unable to do anything with it, though. So Michael Broomhead able to move his way forward. Alex Ellis, though, 3 positions up from his starting position, now at the 4th position already. And look at that. Interesting lines as we go through here. A defensive line from Klubine, and that was a lockup from Stuart Ross. He's going to go quite deep, and that's going to open the door to Alex Ellis to try and make it through.
Yeah, he recovered quickly, but he's going to have to hold on and hold him back. Otherwise, he's just going to take advantage of that mistake for sure.
Yeah, but now he's actually holding up Alex Ellis, and as well as Stuart Vervian, as well as Broomhead. So it's going to be the front 2 with a little bit of a breakaway. They still haven't broken the draft. It's a little early for that. But that being said, Stuart Ross trying to recover himself and doing so quite well. But let's see whether or not Alex... Oh, that's an off track there from Stephen Vervian. He's going to go quite wide and make contact with Ben Sterling. Those two are going to have a little bit of damage. Though teammate of Vervian is going to be Shane Vickery trying to make his way through in the 27.
Yeah, a little miscalculation there, a little bit of a bump. Hopefully not too much for either of the drivers. They can carry on with their cars and be competitive and not have to go in. Ooh, a lot of smoke. Yeah,
absolutely. That was Alex Ellis and Stuart Ross who took each other out in turn 1. Still side by side, though, between Vervian and Benoit as well. Those two guys trying to duke it out. So Ellis took it very deep. It was lockups from the top 3 drivers through that first turn, so everyone taking a little bit deep there. Brent Sterling a little off track there as he goes through NASCAR. That's going to take him wide through the next chicane.
Yeah, everybody's suddenly starting to push really hard, really wanting to move forward, not wanting to sit behind anybody. Everybody's pushing a little bit now, or it could get interesting here with about 12 minutes to go.
An absolute mob currently bottled up by Brent Sterling. That's Vervian up ahead in the number 8 machine, or in the number 73 machine. Though Brent Sterling goes wide. Oh my goodness, quite active hands there from Alex Ellis, and that's a car around. That's Stuart Ross, unfortunately. So his contact with Alex Ellis, he's gotten into Dave Peterson as well as Keith Loban. So really good moves from the rest of the drivers to make it through there, but unfortunately 3 drivers in the back of the pack. Look at this. This is Ron Gale trying to put his nose inside of Graham Loban. Can't do so.
Yeah, I think there was just a little bit too much of a push and a shove there, and it just got them all out of shape. Have to see if they can recover from where they are. Whoa, somebody in the wall hard.
Yeah, that was Steven Vervine. Unfortunately, he's hit the wall hard. So this is some big developments for a lot of our championship drivers who are having some trouble there. That being said, up at the front of the field, Keenan Harris currently leads Connor Klubine by 0.3 of a second. Just ran the fastest lap, did Harris, in that number 18 machine. So Klubine there in that Britain West Motorsports machine trying to put the hunt down on Harris, able to get the draft. Taking a replay here, we're going to take a look at what happened here with Stuart Ross and Alex Ellis. As you can see, Ellis taking it very deep, and Stuart just ushered off the track a little bit there. So both drivers just taking it too deep through that corner.
Yeah, trying to make too much of a move too quick. Just could not hold the car on the box.
Side by side for the lead between Klubine and Harris. It's going to go the way of Klubine. Yeah, go the way of the Klubine through that corner. So a great move from Klubine to take the inside away from Harris. But now Harris has got the draft. John Benoit is going to go around in the background.
Yeah, a nice move to get around him there. But now, you know, Harris is going to have the draft on the back through down the straight. See whether he can pull up on him. But it does seem like Klubine's pulling away a little bit on.
Klubine in the Britain West Motorsport machine, that number 6. Oh man, he's drifting it through the final corners here. Getting back onto the front straight, that's going to reduce his overall speed. So Keenan Harris with a nice run. Can he do anything into turn 1? He's got about half the straight to go as they cross the line.
And he's got a good run on him if he was willing to take it deep.
Here we go into turn 1, unable to take it deep as Klubine covered off the inside. So Klubine will lead yet again as they go through the first sector here. Alex Ellis with the fastest lap after his contact back in 5th position. He's still got about a second and a half between himself and Shane Vickery for that 4th spot. This is one of the closest battles on track. This one, as well as the battle for 7th position between Graham Loban and Ron Gale. We're going to take a replay of what happened here to, I believe this was Stuart Ross. So this is, you can see this gaggle up ahead, and Stuart just takes it a little bit too deep, ends up making contact there, and that sends a couple of other drivers spinning as well. So Stuart Ross, unfortunately, to the back of the pack, now has recovered to 14th, but he's got 4.5 seconds to try and make himself up to Keith Loban. We're looking at Ron Gale now in 7th position as he's battling, trying to hold off Graham Loban and William Pritchard. Gale actually made his way past him, yeah.
So they've spread out a little bit here. I mean, some of them are, you know, I think everybody's kind of settled down a little bit. Said, okay, well, no more damage to my car. But I don't think they're done. Just under 9 minutes left in this race. I got a feeling somebody's going to be making some moves as Harris comes up on Klubine.
Yeah, quite dramatic for our finale. Usually the round 1 tends to be a little bit calmer than round 2, but that's not been the case this race. Keenan Harris, though, not able to make another attempt at Klubine. Looks like his tires start to wear out on the rear end a little bit, getting a little bit loose through those corners. I can see that we have another driver around. Stuart Ross, I believe, went around again, or is that Keith Loban? Keith Loban went around, unfortunately. And he just went wide through the final corner, so unfortunately Keith Loban just losing some positions there. No damage done to the car, though, as we continue to watch this battle for the lead.
Yeah, Harris is all over the back of Klubine. You know, within 5, he's just got to get calmed down, let his tires cool down a little bit, and then take another run at him, possibly down through the snake or the uphill down to the whole roller coaster.
Absolutely. So Harris starting to lose a little bit of touch to Klubine as we go through the more technical sections here. So Connor is in a decent position so long as he can keep from making a mistake. That battle for 4th position, though, between Shane Vickery and Alex Ellis, still going quite well. And this battle for 7th position as well between Ron Gale and Graham Loban. Graham's doing a good job of keeping the pressure on Ron after getting past.
Yeah, he's sticking with him as best he can, just biding his time, hoping for him, waiting for him to make a mistake and take full advantage of it if he gets the opportunity, for sure.
So Graham, not a great exit off of the final corner, is going to put him behind. Not really an opportunity to challenge into 1 unless he wants to take a good opportunity there or a good lunge. Yeah, Alex Ellis, on the other hand, he's going to the inside there of Shane Vickery, able to do so. Vickery looking for the over-under, but nothing doing as Alex sticks himself in the middle of the track. This track's wide enough for 3 of these cars. It's a little bit of a tight squeeze. Ellis putting his nose, or his his rain light right in the back of Shane Vickery's nose.
Yeah, I think if Vickery tried to stay as close to him as possible there and try and come back and take it back from him, just could not hold it as tight through the corner as Ellis was able to do.
So Vickery, unfortunately, going to lose sight of Ellis as Ellis tries to climb his way forward after his early incident. Second report that Klubine out to a 1.5 second lead. And Keith Lobbin going around there in turn 1. Unaided, unfortunately, just got out into the gray, outbraked himself. So Klubine out to 1.7 seconds, Robert.
Yeah, he ran a fastest lap, and from that point on, I don't think he's looked back. He has just been opening up the gap to Harris, giving himself a lot of space, being really aggressive with these curves. Actually, all the drivers are being really aggressive with these curves, but you got to be careful. These curves can bite you, and they will bite you hard.
6 minutes to go, and we're starting to get a better understanding of how everything is laying out here. Klubine out to 1.8 seconds now. That's another 3 seconds back to Broomhead about. 1.5 seconds back to Alex Ellis, who probably has a couple more positions to gain over the next 6 minutes. But the real battle going on track right now is that battle between Ron Gale and Graham Lobbin, as we're seeing right here. Looking at Graham in that Jeffman's garage machine, that number 12, trying to push himself forward. Remember, points up for grabs at all 3 heats tonight, so these drivers definitely having to work hard to try and gain the points that they can.
Yeah, he tried hard to take it deep into the horseshoe there, but he just couldn't hold on to it coming out to stay at it right behind him. So he'll have to gather it up and take another run at him.
It's important to, and look at this, Stuart Ross trying to improve his position as well. So it's important to remember Ross, our championship leader, and Keenan Harris, who's in second position. Ross is back in 13th, Keenan's in second, so Keenan's going to gain a huge amount of points over Stewart. This might swap their points positions before the second heat tonight, so this is an important development for Stewart to get himself going. Only 8 points for 13th position versus 22 for the lead, so do the math. It's going to be real close going into heat 1, but look at this. Stuart Ross trying to make a pass here. He's going to dive it up the inside of Rich Meesters, able to do so and get that pass done.
Yeah, you can see he's pushing hard. He's trying to get everything he can out of this car after getting caught up and getting dropped all the way to the back like that. So now he's going to push. He's going to push right to the end. He's going to move forward as far as he possibly can.
Yeah, so Stuart Ross definitely trying to improve himself forward. He's got 3 seconds up to the next car, and with only 4 minutes to go, that's about 3 laps of time. Alex Ellis, though, putting heavy pressure now on Broomhead in that 00 machine. Alex Ellis for Satellite Racing in his own team today, joining for a quick race for himself. Already causing a little bit of chaos was the Satellite Racing driver, but now trying to put some pressure on Broomhead and get that pass done. Let's see whether he can do it through the snake.
Yeah, he's got a good line on him. He seems to be getting a little bit of a run on him. I think he's going to get a run on him through here, and he might get the opportunity to overtake him.
He's going to look early on Broomhead. Broomhead trying to cover him off, squeezing him just a tiny bit, but Alex Ellis gets a wheel ahead, puts the pressure on Broomhead, pushes him out a little bit wide, able to get that job done. But Broomhead, a very quick run through that right-hander, able to stay right on the back of Ellis. Can Broomhead get it done? I don't know. Ellis looks
He's not
very
going to give up easy. He is right behind him. I don't think he's happy. He lost that spot. He's right on him right now, trying to get it back.
Now, these machines are so momentum heavy. It's no surprise to see just a little bit of loss of momentum from Broomhead means he lost that position. But Alex is so precise in that machine. A little bit of looseness there from Ellis. You can see looking out the back. But Broomhead taking it too wide. Can't follow Ellis through the corner. That's going to lose him an opportunity to challenge.
Yeah, definitely. And Connor has opened up a very comfortable lead over Harris here. Over a 2-second lead. Harris is catching him a little bit, but I don't think he's got enough time to get up on the rear of him again and battle for that P1 position.
So Connor Klubine out to 2.2 seconds over Keenan Harris. Keenan Harris just hoping that Stuart Ross doesn't improve any more positions so that he can gain as much time as possible. Graham Lobbin sliding his way through turn 1 there on screen, with Ron Gale trying to pursue him, or trying to run away from Lobbin rather. Gale, though, has been gaining on Brent Sterling, but I don't think he's going to have enough time as Lobbin goes off track. Can he keep it out of the barriers? Yes, he can, but he's going to get passed by William Pritchard in the process. Lobbin, unfortunately, that challenge he was trying to make to Gale, just couldn't hang on to it.
Yeah, sometimes you just push it a little too hard. The grip's not there, and yeah, you lose a spot over it.
So see our all Rainbow Warriors making some good points right now, currently in 6th, 7th, 8th, and 13th. So lots of a big haul of points there for the Rainbow Warriors for that team. A great job. Oh, look at this. Vervine off again. Not the heat that Vervine was looking for today. Was sliding his way up the hill, unfortunately having to recover. But that's going to bring him back into the clutches of John Benoit and Stuart Ross. Stuart Ross is really hoping that John and Steven really hold themselves up so they can get a couple more points positions.
Yeah, Vervine, he's been struggling today. I was watching him in practice and even in the qualifying. It just looks like he's struggling with the car a little bit today, and it's just not doing what he wants it to do.
Graham Lobben, though, he was able to make himself back up into a couple of positions, trying to move himself towards Pritchard now as he's trying to recover from that slide. Pritchard moving to the inside, a defensive move from Pritchard. Can he hold it on the apex? The answer is yes, as Vervine goes behind Benvalide. So unfortunately, John Benvalide going, Vervine going backwards a little bit more, but we're on the final lap for Klubline. Yes, this is the final lap for Klubline. It's going to be close for him to make it to the line. We might be on the white flag lap next time by for him.
Yeah, I think the clock's going to run out. The clock will run out, and then this lap, he should get the white flag next time through.
So Klubine just trying to hold himself out forward, but really close between Pritchard and Lobben as well. It's going to be close for Klubine to see whether or not he can make it to the line. 10 seconds to go coming up now. I don't believe he's going to make it, though. He's got the whole straightaway to go. So look at this tight battle, though, between Vervine, Ross, as well as Benvalide. They're going to rub doors there, rub wheels, rather. More rubbing of wheels. Ross trying to find his way through. He needs these positions. He's going to get bargy.
So Connor got the checker flag. That is it. He has taken the first. These
guys are
no!
Ross has been hit there, so Vervine going off track again, but Ross is going to gain a position off of this into 12th spot, or rather 11th position, but there we see Lobben trying to hang on to it ahead of Pritchard. Is Pritchard going to get that? Yes, he is by one. Oh no, it was Lobben who got it by about 1/10. And Klubine, of course, taking the win in this heat, so very tight stuff. Going to go quickly through the results with Connor Klubine taking the win over Keenan Harris. Alex Ellis coming home in a solid 3rd position with Michael Broomhead in 4th. Shane Vickery in the 5th position with Brent Sterling in 6th spot. Ron Gale in 7th, just ahead of Graham Lobben. William Pritchard falling behind Lobben to finish that race with John Benvalide. They're in the 10th position. 11th goes to Stuart Ross, so he was able to pick up 2 positions. And then we've got a couple more spots here for those were the top 10 rather for our heat. And we're going to go into Heat 2, which is going to be the same lineup of drivers as we saw for the first one, but this time they're going to duke it out for even more points. And I think, Robert, after that first heat, it's going to be really tense for these drivers going into Heat 2.
Well, and you got to wonder about some of the drivers that got caught up in incidents in Heat 1. Are they going to be angry? Are they going to be mad at the guys that did this? Are they going to try and retaliate? Or are they just going to settle in and go for the most points they can possibly get?
11th position gaining 10 points, 2nd position gaining 22 points, so a 12-point swing in favor of Keenan Harris. That puts Keenan into the lead over that first race, I believe. But no, it puts him 5 points behind, so this is going to be interesting as we're gridding up for that second race. Stuart Ross going to be the last one to make it to the grid right now, as Connor Klubine will lead them to the green flag. So we're on the grid. Timer runs out. Waiting for the green flag. And green flag is out. Connor Klubine with another good start over Keenan Harris. Both of them about equal starts. A lot of equal starts throughout the field. So it's going to be interesting going into turn 1 to see who can hold off who here. Keenan Harris going to try and take it around the outside again. And look at this. Alex Ellis from 3rd position going to try and take it around the outside Harris.
Oh, we got a car around. Tried to go 3 wide.
It's Stuart Ross. Our championship leader coming into this round has had 2 bad heats. He's going to go to the back of the field now.
Oh, and I'm sure he's just beating on his steering wheel right now. Definitely not happy with that start.
So unfortunately, Stuart Ross at the back of the field. That's going to affect the championship for sure. Graham Lobbin trying to make his way forward, currently in 8th position for that Jeff Benz Garage, number 12, trying to push his way forward. But look at the front three, packed up. Connor Klubine, Keaton Harris, Alex Ellis. Ellis trying to make it 3 wide. He goes to the outside of Harris, can't quite do it. But look at that, that was Klubine who goes deep, and it's another wreck in the background. Broomhead's around, Vickery's around.
And Harris has taken over the lead with that mistake by Klubine.
So Keenan Harris now in the lead over Klubine, Alex Ellis pursuing, but look at this big gaggle behind with Revine, Vickery, Peterson, Ross, Broomhead.
They're all over top of the steering wheel right now. They are not happy with how the first heat went, and they want to move up and they want to be where they want to be for heat 2. They just want to get what they can get as much as possible.
Keenan Harris in the lead is the nightmare scenario for Stuart Ross back here in 13th position, but Alex Ellis trying to put pressure on Klubine for the second spot. He's going to try and get that position, possibly into turn 1. This is when you have the best tires, but they're a little cold right now. Brakes are cold as well, so things get really challenging for these drivers. Alex Ellis looking to the inside, not going to do anything about it. Klubine's going to take it deep into turn 1. He can hang on to the apex, but Alex Ellis trying to be smooth here, trying to preserve tires for later.
Yeah, going back
Graham
to the
Lobin's
first
around.
sprint.
Lobin off track on turn 1, Robert.
Oh, he managed to catch it. He's got back on track, but I think he may lose maybe one position, or he's going to be hard fought to hold on to what he's got.
Seymour Ryan makes his way past Rich Meesters for the 9th position. There we see Stuart Ross tucked in all of this traffic right now, and he's able to streak his way by to get past another driver, make himself up into 11th position. That was Dave O'Brien, who's actually gone quite slowly right now. But look at this lead battle. Klubine trying to take the inside away from Harris, trying to block off Ellis as well.
Yeah, these guys are going to fight, and Klubine's not going to be happy he gave up that spot. Same as a Heat 1. He knows he's quick. He knows he's got a fast car. We've got someone at 73 off track.
Yeah, Revine way off track, just took it too deep through the uphill, so he's way off. That puts Stuart Ross up to 9th position. Now remember, it's going to be a reverse grid for the top 10 going into the final round, so Stuart Ross has got some work to do, but if he wants to win the final heat, he's got to stay about where he is right now. But look at this battle for the lead. Klubine up the inside of Harris. Harris can't do anything about it. Can Ellis possibly capitalize on the two battling into turn 1?
Oh, I think if he was smart, he'd stay away from it. Uh-oh.
And Rich Meesters is off, and Klubine able to hang on to it in turn 1. Alex Ellis able to sneak by into 2nd position. Keenan Harris now back to 3rd spot, so a little bit of changing of positions, a little bit of changing of the guard through turn 1, but Klubine up to the front. Keenan Harris back to 3rd. Ellis able to capitalize a little bit.
Yeah, I think these guys all seem to be right side by side. We got Jean Bonneau.
Yeah, John Beverly trying to hang on to that 6th, 7th position. Can't quite do so. Ron Gale able to get past him as well as William Pritchard.
Yeah, good battles all over the track. And like I said, everybody's gotten that first jitter out of them, and they're all set for this round. I'm really looking forward to the final round when they have to go from where they ended all the way through the pack if they finish in the front.
So it really is a pack out front of 3 cars. Klubine, Ellis, and Harris out there for the top 3, duking it out. Then it's back to about 2 seconds back to Brent Sterling, and another 2.5 back to Pritchard, Gale, and Ben Valide. Stuart Ross about 3 seconds back now in 8th position, trying to undo the damage, get himself as close to Harris as he can. But my goodness, he's going to have to hope that Harris has caught some of the misfortune that he's had these past couple of things. Ron Gale around, I believe. Yeah, Ron Gale off in the final corner. He's now recovered, but he's going to lose a position to Stuart Ross. That's 1 more points paying position back to Stuart.
Yeah, that was advantageous for him. He kept it clean, and then he just took advantage of somebody else's mistake, and he's moving up the field quick. He's not happy with where he finished the first race. He wants to be in the top 5 for this one. He's got
Alex
10
Ellis
minutes to do it.
side by side with Klubine. He's able to take the inside away. Klubine unable to do anything about it. Is he going to try and swap back to the inside here for this turn? Ellis opens the door, but nothing doing. It's a sharp 90 left, followed by a sharp 90 right. Ellis able to hang on to it, but he's lost a little bit of time. That's going to give Klubine an opportunity, possibly to take an opportunity through the right-hander up the hill.
Yeah, definitely using up all the track he can, trying to hold Klubine off, see if he can open up a gap, make him make a mistake, and give him some time. But Klubine is all over the back of him right now. He wants that position back.
The 35 of Dave Dave Peterson, yeah, has actually been a hard charger. 7 spots up, trying to pass Graham Lobbin next. But these top 3, absolutely unrelenting. Klubine wants the win. He doesn't want to let Ellis go. Ellis, though, so smooth in this machine, able to keep himself going. But I can tell he's got a little bit hotter tires than he would like right now.
Yeah, he's pushing pretty hard. He wants that position back. He's going to heat those tires up. And Ross has moved himself up into 7th position now. And he's only 2 seconds behind 6th. So he's driving hard. He's pushing that car as fast as he can.
And here comes Klubine to the outside of Ellis. Ellis, what's he going to do? Is he going to take it deep into the braking zone? Yes, he is. The two of them going to go very deep. Ellis able to make the corner. So is Klubine. Klubine a little bit scared of Ellis taking him a little bit deep like he took him last time. Keenan Harris, though, looking on with great trepidation. He wants this win as well. He's in the battle for the championship lead right now. He wants to get these guys out of his way so he can take the win.
Oh, he's just been looking for this. He's just sitting there saying, you know what, I got 8 minutes. I'm going to sit behind these 2 guys, and I'm going to let them take each other out, and I'm going to take the win.
A little bit of argy-bargy there from Ellis to get himself in front for this particular section. Is Klubine going to try it again? You can see Ellis all the way over to the right-hand side, very defensive. Klubine to the outside. It's going to be side-by-side, just a little bit going up the hill. Klubine falling in line, but my goodness, Klubine absolutely has this track nailed right now. Alex Ellis having to play strong defense.
Yeah, he's doing it. He's putting that car everywhere that he thinks Klubine is going to put it. He's been right so far, but if he gets it wrong, Klubine's going to take advantage of it.
Little mistake from Klubine brings Harris back into the picture. Harris, though, backing out a little bit. He's in a good spot. All he needs to do is finish realistically ahead of Stuart Ross at this point, and he's going to be in a good position going into the final round. Harris in 3rd right now. Stuart Ross in 6th, as Pritchard goes around. So unfortunately, William Pritchard going around, that's going to move Stuart Ross up to 6th position. 6th position pays 15 points. 3rd position pays 20 points. A 5-point spread. That would put them tied going into the final round.
Oh, and Ross can just see that I'm going for the you can just see he's smelling that top 5 and going for it.
Harris needs
These guys
one
are
more
battling
position.
hard here at the front.
Absolutely. Harris needs one more position to guarantee that he's ahead going into the final round, but remember that they're going to have that swap of the top 10 positions for the final heat, so things are going to get interesting here for all these drivers. Oh, Keenan Harris missed shift, I believe. He's now off the back of those guys.
Yeah, just trying not to make a mistake. Sometimes they'll cause you to make one, and he's just lost touch of them here with this. He's got to hope for them to battle hard and one of them make a mistake.
Ron Gale went off again, but look at this. Klubine absolutely hounding Ellis right now. Graham Lobbin, though, I believe he's going to make a move on Peterson up the hill. He actually decides better of it. Graham right now tucked into that 8th position as Ron Gale goes off again. Gale's been having a bad race this race. He's been off about 4 or 5 times today.
Yeah, I think they're just, like I say, they're just pushing too hard. They feel they've got more in the car, and the car's just not giving it to them, and it's just not cooperating with them today.
The battle for the lead is now just 2 cars between Klubine and Ellis. Keenan Harris in a solid 3rd position, and Stuart Ross in a solid 6th position, 2 seconds behind John Benvalide. But here we go. Klubine are on the outside again. Alex Ellis is going to take it deep again. Klubine sliding it through. So is Ellis. Ellis a little bit tight on exits. Going to push Klubine behind him. My goodness, Klubine with the fastest lap of the race today. Stephen Vervine able to get by Shane Vickery, the number 73, up to 9th position now.
Yeah, he did everything he could there. It just didn't have enough, and he tried to squeeze Ellis down on the inside, maybe touch the tires to the grass, but Ellis wasn't having anything to do with it.
About 5 seconds to go. That being said, Stuart Ross closed 8 tenths on John Benvalide last lap, so he's definitely trying to make himself a position to keep himself in the points league going into the final round. Oh, things are going to get spicy here. Look at this. Klubine trying to move himself forward. Look at this. He's trying to hang on to the back of Ellis, trying to put pressure on Ellis. Make Ellis make a mistake. He might make a mistake himself. Almost takes it too deep into the back of Ellis.
Yeah, he's getting really impatient now. He knows the clock is running down. He wants that spot. He wants to get past Ellis, but Ellis isn't having anything to do with it. And Stuart Ross is closed right in on Jean Benvalide. He's going for that 5th spot.
And Keith Lobbin, unfortunately, going around in the background. He's now moved himself back to 14th behind Broomhead. Klubine, unfortunately, not able to get a good run off of the corner that time around. That being said, Graham Lobbin is going to try and put some pressure on Dave Peterson on the front straightaway. Peterson to the inside right now as Ellis retains the lead. Lobbin in that 8th position, trying to move himself forward in front of Peterson, as Stuart Ross looking now on John Benville, trying to improve his position. There they are, side by side. That's Lobbin trying to make his way around Peterson. Peterson has the inside line. Lobbin out into the gray, unfortunately, not able to make the pass.
Yeah, I just couldn't hold to carry the speed through, and he just gave up the line a little bit. But he'll take another opportunity here.
Stuart Ross up the inside of Benvalide. He's going to get another position. This should put him into the lead going into the final round. He's now up to 5th position with Keenan Harris in 3rd. This is going to make things very interesting going into the final round. That would put Ross. Oh, no! Klubine around.
And there goes Harris. He's got his 2nd spot. Klubine just pushed too hard, made a mistake.
Well, going to have to do the math again. I believe that puts them tied one more time. Dave Peterson's around now, unfortunately. His hard charging days are over as he slides backward.
Yeah,
so
with
much
3 minutes
drama.
left. Stuart Ross is a man on a mission right now. He is trying to squeeze everything he can out of that car. If he can get up one more spot, then he can take the lead into the next round.
Absolutely. So Peterson squeezed a little bit. He squeezed Graham Lobbin into the corner. Lobbin decided to hold his position, but Alex Ellis with the fastest lap, 6 seconds out to the lead now. Graham Lobbin and Steve Vervine side by side. We're going to take a look at this wreck with Peterson, though. This one I think is going to be contentious in the debrief afterward.
I'm not saying nothing.
I didn't think so. Driver's prerogative, absolutely.
That's
but
one of those ones where, you don't even want to make a call on that. Let the stewards handle that one for sure.
Klubine falling backward. Keith Lobbins decided to end his session, I will say lately, based upon his radio communication. So Peterson also not happy. So a couple of drivers just not having it tonight. It's been really, really dramatic.
Yeah, it has been it's been something to watch for sure. Some of these guys are getting really aggressive and just it's not working out for them.
Graham Lobbin
Ellis.
Go ahead, Robert.
I was just going to say Ellis has opened up a nice, comfortable lead for the last 2 minutes of this race. We got 2 minutes to go, so about 2 more laps. I'm thinking.
Something around there. The Alex Ellis going to be crossing the start-finish line now with 1:24 to go. So this will be the penultimate lap for Alex Ellis, unless he can put in a 5-second faster lap time, which it's Alex Ellis we're talking about. He might be able to do it. That being said, Graham Lobbin trying to pursue Stephen Vervine right now for that 7th position. Just about 6/10 back. He's getting a little bit of draft, but unfortunately not enough to bring him into fighting a position with Vervine. Vervine, though, has been a little bit challenged through the corners, though.
Yeah, like I said, he's been struggling all day, Brian. I think he's getting a bit of a better handle on it now, but yeah, he's had a struggle today for sure.
So Vervine now our hard charger, as unfortunately Peterson had his moment of drama through the right-hander with Lobbin. So Alex Ellis still out to that 6-second lead, and Klubine has gone around again. Going wide through the uphill, unfortunately touching the wheels on the grass, going to put him out, and he's going to have to wait for the rest of the field to go by. Alex Ellis, though, 6.3 second lead now over Keenan Harris, and coming down towards the final couple of corners to take the white flag. Oh, this looks like
it will be the
might
checker flag.
Yeah, it is. So the time expires and the flagman switches to the checkered flag. That's going to put Alex Ellis across the line as our winner, 7 seconds over Keenan Harris, who looks like he ran out of fuel a little bit at the end, sliding his way across. Brent Sterling is going to take 3rd position with Stuart Ross in 4th spot. Going to have to do a little bit of math to see who's in front there. John Benoit's going to come home in 5th, and Connor Klubine in 6th. Steve Vervine 7th, and Graham Lobbin in 8th position. Ron Gale, 9th spot, with Shane Vickery in 10th. Michael Broomhead 11th, and Pritchard in 12th. David O'Brien, not sure if he's going to finish, with Rich Meesters in 14th. But here is the official top 10 as we just went through. Looks like it's going to be Ellis in the lead, Keenan Harris 2nd, Ross 3rd with Sterling in between, Ben Valide in 5th with Klubine 6th, Vervine in 7th, Graham Lobbin 8th, Ron Gale in 9th, and Shane Vickery in 10th. But Robert, we have a small little break here for a little breather for the drivers, a little breather for us as we prepare ourselves for the final heat.
Yeah, give them all a chance to settle down, maybe get their screaming out of their way. But keep in mind, this is a reverse grid for this next one. So all those guys that finished 1st and 2nd, they're at the back of the pack now.
Yeah, reverse top 10 for this next sprint, which is going to put Stuart Ross ahead of Keenan Harris by 2 spots. So it's going to be interesting things for sure. We're going to advance to the final round, and this is going to make things exciting for sure. Robert, you want to take us through the grid?
Okay, so
we just moved on to the warm-up, my bad. So we're on to the warm-up now. 5 minutes for the warm-up here. And yeah, things are going to get exciting for this final round. The championship, as far as the drivers, definitely up for grabs. Gonna have to do the math on the teams.
yeah, just looking at the teams now, just haven't got the update yet. But from round 1, Gladiator Road Racing still up in the front. Britain West Motorsport minus 18 behind in 2nd, and Lima Racing down 57 behind in 3rd.
It's going to be a very interesting final sprint for these drivers. It's going to be a real challenge for them. We're looking at the warm-up right now. 4 minutes to go in the warm-up, and I honestly, it says warm-up, but I think this is going to be more of a cool down for these drivers to get their heads back on after these intense heats we've had.
Yeah, and like I said, some of them have been struggling, and some of them are doing, it's going to be a lot of emotions here in this last race, especially when they know what everything is that is up for grabs. It's definitely going to be something interesting to watch.
Riding on board with Vervine as we come through the final sector here at VIR, one of the most challenging sectors in racing, in my opinion. Downhill, not a lot of banking. It's a lot of sliding around you get to do regardless of the vehicle, but a real challenge for all these drivers to try and make their way through. And then what feels like a very long straight in these small low power cars. Lots of drafting potential.
Yeah, they got some really good drafts in the first heat, and just coming in hard braking, you see how much the car just wants to slide if you don't get it slowed down enough, and that's caught a lot of drivers out today.
Yeah, usually we do have some drivers to talk to, but I think everything's a little bit intense for them right now. A little bit of focus required going into this final heat of the final round here for the BiS series. So it's going to be real challenge for everyone to keep their heads on straight. This is going to be a very dramatic final round, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I think they're just sitting there and it's figuring, probably best not to get on and do an interview because something may be said that should not be said. So I'm sure everybody's being very cautious and just focusing on this last race.
BiS F1600 series 2023 season 2. It's been intense right now. We just got our updated points. It is 1 point separating Stuart Ross and Keenan Harris in favor of Stuart Ross going into the final round of this championship. This is going to get exciting.
Definitely an interesting race there, and races 1 and races 2. A few incidents for sure. Going into the third race, we're going to see, how hard are these guys going to push, because in order to score points, you've got to finish the race.
Thanks for giving us that update, Zippy. It's dramatic for sure. Gladiator Road Racing looks like they've opened up their team's championship points lead to 23 points over Britain West Motorsport. That's not game over yet for Britain West, but really close. They're going to have to hope that Gladiator Road Racing falls by the wayside here, but Zippy, I mean, talk to me about how intense this last round has been. It's been crazy.
Oh, it's definitely been lots of action to watch. I mean, not just at the front as well. We've been getting some really good midfield battles. Certainly that last battle between Peterson and Graham Lobban was fantastic. We've been watching great battles with Ron Gale. Vivian, fantastically quick driver, but he just can't string it together today. And some of these guys, they're driving it in real life as well, you know. So we've got a quality field here, a really quality field. The reverse grid is definitely going to make things interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens, and certainly wishing the guys best of luck going into the final race of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. So, any predictions as far as what we're going to see in this final round, Zippy?
Chaos, panic, and disorder.
Chaos, panic, and disorder. That was Zippy, our pit lane reporter. So, tell it like it is, Robert.
Yeah, I'm going to be really interested to see what some of these front runners do when they've got to actually make their way through, you know, other cars. Yeah, you got heat 1, you got heat 2, but now you don't have a choice. You've got to work your way through other cars if you want that position.
And it's time for the grid. Robert, what we got?
Yeah. Sorry about that. So we got our starting grid. On row 1, we have Shane Vickery in first. Alongside him is Ron Gale in second, with Graham Lobban and Steve Vervaen in row 2. Connor Klubine starts in 5th, with John Benvalid beside him. Stuart Ross and Brent Sterling in row 4. Keenan Harris and Alex Ellis start in row 5. In row 6, we've got Michael Broomhead alongside William Pritchard, with David O'Brien and Reach Meisters in row 7, and David Peterson and Keith Lobb in row 8.
That's our starting grid for the final round of this season. The final heat. Here we go. It's going to be a sprint to the finish. There's our weather for you, and it's green flag right now as we get our leader, Shane Vickery, trying to hold off Ron Gale. Ron Gale, though, with a great launch. He's going to go side by side with Vickery. It's Graham Lobban behind with Connor Klubine able out to a great start. He's going to take the inside on the 3rd position. It's going to be tight into turn 1. Everyone trying to hang on to their spots.
Oh, did you see that? Did you see that car he just took the outside, turned the car sideways and said, I'm staying on this line. And he's picked up Keenan Harris has picked up
Stuart Ross with contact. Stuart Ross off track, I believe, is a bent suspension. Stuart Ross falling to the back of the field, was in 7th ahead of Keenan Harris in 9th, but now Harris up to 8th, and Ross's bad luck continues for the round. He's definitely got a bent suspension.
Yeah, he's going to have to go get that fixed, and he is not going to be happy at all with how that all started and what he ended up with.
Ron Gale going backwards now from that 2nd spot, took it too deep through the corner as well. Keenan Harris falling behind Michael Broomhead, so things not going great for most of our championship contenders for sure. Ron Gale, though, falling from 2nd back to 4th position. Connor Klubine on the 1st lap from 5th up to 2nd. A great spot for him. John Benvalid around in the background.
Yeah, and Sean Vickery got a nice little gap out front, just needs to stay comfortable. But Klubine, we know he's quick. We know he can move that car. I'm sure he's going to be going up to him very quickly for a battle.
I can confirm Stuart Ross's suspension very bent. Unfortunately, he's going to be off. Alex Ellis is off as well as Steven Vervaen. So those two getting together on the final corner. So very dramatic for those drivers. And a pass for the lead. Klubine up to the lead over Shane Vickery.
Yeah, he's trying to take him on the outside here. He's just got to be able to put the power down a little bit quicker. Vickery's just saying doesn't want to give it to him, but he's going to battle him all the way through. But Klubin, I think, is just a little bit too quick for him through the corners.
Vervaen, Ellis, and Ross all with damage. Most of them into the pits. Vervaen couldn't get to the pits, but Ross and Ellis into the pits. So 2 fast drivers out. Our championship leader out right now. So all Keenan Harris has to do is survive this race. We're going to take a look at this incident with Stuart Ross, though.
And here we're on board live with Stuart Ross. He's a guy who's got potential today, just trying to dodge it. You see Benvalid just gets a little bit loose on the cold tires. He gets caught up in there, and that's potentially a championship costing incident. Hopefully not, but it's fair to say he's brown bread at that point.
Yeah, as if he's going to have to hope for Keenan Harris to get into his own incident. Keenan right now in a battle with Broomhead and Sterling as Ross comes back out onto track with his spare car.
Well, and that's one of the biggest things with the reverse grid right now. You know, before he was out front, he was, you know, he didn't have to battle that much. Now he had to get through cars.
Oh,
and
Keenan Harris off. Broomhead's gone around. Keenan Harris is off track now. He's going to lose a ton of positions. Broomhead trying to recover. Harris hasn't even made it back to the track yet.
Now, hopefully he doesn't have any damage. Otherwise, he's got to make it all the way around with whatever he's got left of a car. But he had mostly open field, so I think he's going to be okay.
So Keenan Harris back to 8th position.
Vickery's really putting the nose onto Klubine here. He doesn't want to let him go. But I think Klubine's just going to start pulling away from him here now.
Absolutely. So Klubine been very strong these past couple of races. Vickery has not been in a position to try and challenge for the lead. Graham Lobbin in 3rd position. He's part of that lead group. Then it's 2 seconds back to Ron Gale as well. So unfortunately for Keenan Harris, fortunately for Keenan Harris, he's got Dave O'Brien for the draft, but it's just the two of them. And then it's another 2 seconds back to John Benville. But looking at this lead battle between Klubine, Vickery, and Lobbin, things are very tight here.
Yeah, we've seen it in the first 2 heats. A simple mistake, just a little bit too wide, grabbed too much to curb, can cost you a lot of positions, possibly even put you to the back of the pack.
And Zippy, you be keeping your eyes on a hard charger this round, eh?
Yeah, at the minute, Bill Pritchard and Dave O'Brien, they are currently tied. I think we're a couple of the stronger drivers as well. In the reverse grid, it makes it a little bit more colourful. But certainly, Brian's down 8 positions at the minute, and it looks like he's in the pits as well.
Taking a look at a battle between Keenan Harris and Dave O'Brien trying to hold on to that position, but a little bit wide, slides himself through. Harris is going to be able to get to the inside, but it's a right-hand kink before we get to turn 1. So Harris able to hang on to the speed, hang on to the preferred line, makes himself his way up into 7th.
Yeah, he's just got to be careful here that he doesn't make a mistake in the corner and you know, give O'Brien a chance to come back at him here. He wants to pull out, he wants to move away and go for the next track.
Alex Ellis has decided that the damage was too much. He's taking that thing back to the garage. He will no longer participate. That leaves Stuart Ross in the back of the field in 13th position, unfortunately. So Ross not in a great position himself. Klubine now out to a 1 second lead over Vickery, who's got 7/10 over Lobbin. Honestly, compared to the last couple of rounds, this is the most spread out we've seen the field, and that was Lobbin, who's gone around. Graham Lobbin's around.
Yeah, and he's going to lose a ton of positions for that, trying to get himself back on track.
So he gets himself back on track there. Zippy, did you manage to see what happened there?
It looked like it was just an unforced error, to be honest. Like, I was certainly watching because I was seeing the Rainbow Warriors chasing.
Sorry there. Benvalide makes contact with O'Brien, cuts the course, but manages to take the position. He might have to give up some of that time due to a cut course penalty, but a fairly aggressive move there from Benvalide.
Yeah, the clock's running down. Everybody's starting to get a little bit more impatient. They want to move forward. They don't want to battle. They just want clean racetrack and move their position forward.
So Klubine still holding about a second over Vickery. Ron Gale has fallen back. He's had a little bit of an incident himself. So, that was Graham Lobbin, who fell his way back from 2nd back to 7th position, promoting Gale up to 3rd. That also promotes Keenan Harris up to 6th position. So the nightmare only getting worse for Ross.
Yeah, the field is pretty spread out now with all of the incidents that everybody's had. The field is pretty spread out. Everybody's got a little bit of a buffer here to drive. But, you know, as that clock runs down, I think we're going to see a few of them go a little bit quicker and try and move themselves forward.
So those of you chanting for Stuart Ross, remember he's about 1 minute off of the lead. He's got about 35 seconds up to Stephen Vervine, who's got 20 seconds up to Michael Broomhead. But then it's a nice battle here. We're taking a look at it. This is Dave Bryan after his moment with Rich Meesters and Michael Broomhead. Broomhead after his incident with Ellis, trying to recover now.
Yeah, and Bimblett isn't. He's not pulling away. So O'Brien's still kind of got him in his tail. He's just got to, clean up his line. But now he's got to defend if he doesn't want to lose this current spot he's got and get back up into where he was.
Broomhead, though, putting extreme pressure right now on Meesters as Meesters trying to hang on to that spot. But look at this exit now from Broomhead, able to hang on to the car through the drifting, right? Looks like it's not going to be a strong defense there from O'Brien. He's going to move to the outside, possibly letting Broomhead go. But he knows that Broomhead can't take it too deep into the corner because he's got O'Brien up there to worry about. So Meesters giving that position away, unfortunately, to Broomhead, but going to try and follow Broomhead through O'Brien, I think.
Yeah, same as you're best to just sit back there, let them wait for your moment and take advantage of it when you can, nice and clean. Don't wreck your car and then move yourself forward again.
Looks like O'Brien moving over for Broomhead as well. So looks like O'Brien and Meesters going to have their battles. They let the faster Broomhead through. That being said, we have a nice battle for 7th position between Graham Lobben and John Benvelead as they go up the hill onto the second part of the course. The North Circuit, going through the snake in the grass, rejoins the main circuit, and it's really exciting right towards the end of the lap. And Benvelead and Lobben both taking their chances through this snaking section.
Yeah, I'm sure Benvelead's getting a little impatient right now. Again, like I said, they watch it. Drivers say they don't watch the clock, but they watch that clock and they know where they're at and they know where they want to go.
Keenan Harris also on the back of William Pritchard for 5th position. Harris not wanting to take any risks this race, I don't think, but he's definitely going to try and improve his position as much as possible. Pritchard taking it deep into turn 1. You can see just how cautious Harris is being out there. He knows he's got this championship settled so long as he can just not wreck the car. So he's just being very cautious right now. And you can see not even taking a risk with Pritchard right there.
Yeah, he doesn't want to wreck his car. He doesn't want to wreck Richard's car. You know what? If you're comfortable, then just stay where you are. I'm sure. They both go around.
Oh, synchronized spins there from Meesters and O'Brien. Just a little bit of dancing for the two of them. Looks like they might have hit a little bit of a wet patch there, but both of them recovering. Meesters is going to take advantage of that. As we were watching that, Keenan Harris did make the move on Graham Lobben, and that was through the uphill right-hander. So Harris up to 5th position. And Zippy, you have a update on our CRL Rainbow Warriors drivers. They seem to be making a decent amount of points today to try and improve their standing in the championship.
Yeah, they're definitely, they're just kind of sneaking under the radar a little bit despite being rainbow colored. You'd think somebody would have seen him, right? But Ron Gale, he snuck up into 3rd. You got Brent in 4th. Bill Pritchard, he's down in 6th. And then you got Rich Meesters in 10th. They are missing a guy today. Usually you get CR Reed as well. And I think some of the guys have been listening to what CR taught me, because he was my iRacing mentor, and he always taught me low risk, high reward. And I think that is certainly a good policy for Keenan Harris right now. Certainly Connor Kalubine as well.
Yeah, so one team moving up, another team having some success in the front of the field, but John Benvelead trying to make a move in his Lima Racing machine on Graham Lobben. Look at that, Graham Lobben trying to hold the middle of the track there, but that's going to put him at a little bit of a compromised line on the exit of NASCAR, so that's going to allow Benvelead to put some pressure on. Can Lobben hold on to it on the exit of the sector here? The answer is kind of. Benvelead, not a very good run, though, on this night.
Yeah, he's doing everything he can. He knows that Benvelead's got a run on him. He knows he's behind him. He knows he's gonna, if he makes a mistake, he's gonna give him a chance. So he's just got to be nice and clean, put the car where he wants it, and hope that it sticks.
And Zippy, you said that Benvelead might be carrying some damage as well.
Yeah, he's definitely been in 2 incidents earlier on. There was a big one at the start where I think Stuart Ross kind of got caught up on him. He slid sideways on the cold tires. He had a car in his left rear quarter. So as I've been watching these guys, I'm finding that Benvelead really catches up to him. I think he's getting right close to him on the straights, but as soon as he gets to the corners, I suspect the damage is really what's catching him. Not only that, is Lobben just basically tactically placing the car, so then just forcing Johnson. He can't get the move when he needs it, right?
Well, speaking of needing it, sometimes you need grip and you don't have it. We have a replay of that synchronized spin. And I think it's definitely worth taking a look at, as we saw Kieran Harris take the fastest lap there. Here's that spin again. There's no contact between the two of them. Both of them just taking it a little bit too deep there, Zippy.
Nice demonstration of tandem drifting there, actually.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
just a little bit too much in the corner. Rear tires just didn't want to stick.
Absolutely. So there was a drift competition this past weekend, but I don't think that these cars were particularly entered. Keenan Harris, though, still holding strong in that 5th position, carrying that championship lead. Connor Klubine, 132nd laps. I believe this is going to be the penultimate lap for him. There we see the battle between John Benvleed and Graham Lobin as John takes it too deep. Oh, no.
Well, I'll tell you what, Connor Klubine's he's had this track's number today. He's had his moments, but I think he will handle like that.
Man, we need to stop talking about people, I swear.
Well, that was a handful. So he's coming in through for the white flag with almost a 4-second lead over Vickery. Yeah, he has had this track's number today. He's just been mostly flawless all day, and when he lost the front, he got it right back up there.
Dave O'Brien going around in the background as well, just a little bit loose through the uphill as well, but Keenan Harris putting in yet another fastest lap, trying to get himself up to the back of Brent Sterling, but with the penultimate lap on the books, it's going to be hard for him to do this. Connor Klubine just entering up to our snaking section here. Probably one of the most exciting portions of any racetrack, regardless of the car you're driving. And here he comes, riding on board with him now.
Oh yeah, the snake you get it right, you're almost giddy when you get it right. But yeah, it is a fun part of the track.
Connor Klubine up through the right-hander, through the uphill section. Now through the unique part of the North Circuit here. Very challenging and technical to get right. A little bit of a double apexer right there and left there, and then back into the regular portion of the sector. And Connor Klubine he has 2 more corners to go, and then he can call himself a race winner again.
Yeah, he's not even holding back. He's drifting that thing through the first corner. He just wants this race to be over, and he wants that win, and he will take the checkered flag in P1 for the.
Absolutely, a little bit of wiggle to show his pleasure as he crosses the line. Shane Vickery's going to come home in a solid 2nd position, with Ron Gale in the 3rd spot. Keenan Harris, though, behind Brent Sterling, almost caught him, but Keenan's going to solidly take the championship win after coming into the round 17 points behind. And Michael Broomhead unable to catch Graham Lobin there right at the end, unfortunately. But Stuart Ross, the heartbreaking story of this race with suspension damage. He unfortunately still on the first half of the circuit. What a heartbreaking finish for him. But let's take you to the results here for these drivers, as Stewart's still trying to finish himself around this course. The win going to Connor Klubine with Shane Vickery in 2nd position. Ron Gale in that 3rd spot with Brent Sterling in 4th. Keenan Harris 5th position with William Pritchard in 6th. Graham Lobin 7th position. And Michael Broomhead in 8th. John Benvleed in the 9th spot. And Rich Meesters in 10th. 11th position is going to be Stephen Vervayan after his incidents, as well as Dave O'Brien having his bad day. Stuart Ross, the last of our finishers, with Alex Ellis and Dave Peterson and Keith Lobin, did not start the final sprint.
Wow, that was some exciting racing. I tell you what.
Yeah, the first 2 rounds, very exciting, Robert, but probably a little bit too exciting. So we're going to take a small little break here, but we'll be back with our interviews to close out the season. So don't go anywhere. You're not going to want to miss this. Welcome back to the BiS F1600 Championship. The final round here, round 6, won by Connor Klubine. And what a fantastic set of heats that we had. Let's bring in Connor Klubine to talk to us about that win, 2 wins on the trot rather for Connor. Connor, what a fantastic race you had today. Up there at the front of the field, putting challenges on drivers like Alex Ellis and Stuart Ross and Keenan Harris. I mean, how'd it feel good to take home 2 wins today?
Yeah, it felt pretty good. The whole night kind of reminded me of the first round of the championship that I participated in. Had a really good round 1 and 2, round 1 and 3, and then had a disaster race 2. But it was nice to walk away with 2 nights tonight. Yep.
So talk to me about how you felt about the whole season. I mean, it's been, three heats over the course of a race, and then you got 6 rounds. Had to be a stressful season, but what do you think about the finish today?
Well, about the season as a whole, I wish I could have been a greater part of it. I was away at no racetrack we worked so much to have a really challenging championship, which I'm not complaining about. But I love the format. I think the 3 races, especially the reverse grid at the end, was awesome. And I'm just happy to end the season, my limited season, on a high note.
Yeah, definitely. And Connor, just congratulations on the win today, coming home 12th in the points, 2nd in the team points with Britain West Motorsports. Anyone you want to thank before we let you go today?
Oh, I just want to congratulate Stuart on the amazing season he had, even with the last tonight didn't go quite as we hoped. And I want to thank my parents for allowing me to move the rig into a spot where I get much better Wi-Fi connection. And thank you to everyone who watches. So it's really cool to be a part of a broadcast event like this with a lot of guys that I drive with in real life.
Well, thanks for talking to us, Connor, and we hope to see you again soon.
Definitely.
That was Connor Klubine, who won today's race. We're going to talk to Shane Vickery. Shane is going to part of the winning team today. Shane's going to be talking with Zippy.
How is he now? Okay, surprise for me. How do you think the race went today for you there, Shane?
I think it went really well. Race 1 and 2, I think were kind of I did just really what I needed to do, and race 2 I had a bit of contact and was driving with damage for most of the race, so I just kind of held on, kind of lucked out and got that 10th spot so I could start pulling the 3rd race. But overall, I think the goal for today was to come in and seal up the constructors championship and the teams championship. I think we did that. I don't know, maybe you know better than I do, but I know it was going to be close.
I do know that Mr. Broomhead is currently updating points. It's currently in review, but it looks pretty promising at this point.
Yeah,
And
we
what
just really need to keep the Klubine guys in check, and I think we did that for the most part.
Oh, good luck to you trying to do that. I mean, I'd feel for you. But my question for you, sir, Gladiator Road Racing, are you guys going to be coming back next season and at the full force? I mean, that first round, I was just saying to the guys earlier, the first round, second round, you guys came out and it was almost like you took over the track. I want to see this kind of level of participation back again. Just storm the field.
Yeah, you know what? At Road America, or Road Atlanta, I guess was round 1. That was a lot of fun. We had all 5 of us out. It was kind of hit or miss since then. You know, a lot of guys had summer commitments. They were only part-time anyways. Steve and I, we tried to do the whole season and we missed the last one, but managed to get out to this one. But yeah, we're planning on coming back. It might depend on a few things, a couple other leagues that are kind of in limbo. So we'll see, but as of right now, you can count on us defending our title there.
That's awesome, Shane. Well, we look forward to seeing you guys back next season. Thank you very much. Is there anybody you'd like to thank?
Yeah, just like Mike and Joseph for putting on a great series. It was a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun being out there with a bunch of guys that I'm used to being on the track with a bunch of years ago, really. And let's just thank my wife. You know, she's my biggest sponsor, so she puts up with this more than anyone else.
Howard to you there, sir. Thanks very much, Mr. Shane Vickery, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks, guys. Take care. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Next up, we've got Robert Covey, who's going to be talking to Ron Gale, who finished today's race, well, rather the final race of the evening, in third position.
Hi, Ron. So how good P3 finished in today's race. How do you feel your race went overall today?
That was a pretty good race. I knew there was a couple guys behind me that were going to be pretty quick, so I just thought I would keep my position and try and stay out of trouble, which seemed to work out well for me. And I could keep up with them, but I just couldn't catch them.
Now we're still waiting for the team championships updates, but I believe CRL Rainbow has moved up, I believe in fifth, if I'm not mistaken. Really good job by the team to move themselves up in the stand.
Yeah, we got a good team effort. One of our guys couldn't make it tonight, so that kind of hampered us a little bit, but well done by the team. And yeah, so we have a lot of fun this season, so look forward to next season.
Well, congratulations, Ron, on the move up by the team and for your finish today. Is there anybody you want to thank before we let you go?
No, just want to thank all my Canadian Racing League teammates, CLRL Rainbow Warriors, and look forward to next season.
All right. Well, great racing today. Great season. We'll see you next time. Thank you, Ron.
Thank you very much.
That was Ron Gale, who finished in third today, part of the CRL Rainbow Warriors. And we've got Mike Broomhead, series organizer, who's going to be talking to Zippy.
Mr. Broomhead, how do you feel, sir, at the final event of the Formula 1600 Drivers' Championship?
Oh, I mean, for myself, terrible, but for the league in general, that was fantastic. Honestly, coming down to the end there, and it was all over the place with bonus points and laps led and that sort of thing. And it was just, it was honestly, I wish I had seen it. I'm going to watch back, obviously. I want to see those races for the lead.
So, how complete is the points at this stage? I mean, I've been having a little quick flick through the spreadsheet. I don't know if I'm reading the right thing here, though. But what can you really tell us? Can you give us like a top three for the team and then top three for maybe for the drivers just to really finalize it? Or is it still a work in progress?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's right, barring any errors by me. I had to quickly put it together, there. But the team's championship first, Gladiator Road Racing have taken it 22 points in front of Britain West. So obviously well done to Gladiator Road Racing. It's good to see them. Obviously they're coming out in force. That's fantastic to see. Lima Racing in third. Generic SimSport with Just Keenan Harris, and then my old team in fifth there, Jaftermans. Oh, I've got myself in twice. Okay, that doesn't make any sense. I'll fix the team points there, but going over to the drivers' points. Yes, it is final. It is Keenan Harris, 4 points over Stuart Ross at the end there. So close. We got Stephen Favine, 76 back. The drop points were only one difference, so really Keenan drove well today. He pipped Stuart just at the end there by, I guess, luck and a lot of talent behind the wheel as well.
That's definitely a tight season going in. I know for your team, we'll have to find out where CRL did for sure. I know I may have been a little bit biased in cheering them on. What can you tell us about next season, Mike? Where are you at the planning stages? Have you got tracks picked out? Talk to me a little bit about what's coming next season.
Yeah, so we're going to run our two leagues in tandem, sort of alternating weeks. So in late September, early October. So we don't have specific dates yet, but that's when we're going to start. We're going to go through the winter, unlike most iRacing leagues. And we're starting to pick out some tracks and, starting to sort of form everything up. But I think this league sort of showed how great it can really be. Obviously we've got a lot of people out there, and it's fantastic to have some real drivers come out, the real Canadian F1600 drivers, and of course the sim racers as well. We're just putting some ideas together. We're looking at broadcasting schedule, and we'll announce soon of what it's going to be. But it's going to be some fun tracks like we had this season, and just to improve and go from there,
Well, I've got to thank you, certainly. I'll do it on behalf of GSRC and also as a guy who's entered in some of your series. Thank you so much for doing such a fantastic job. It's been fantastic to watch in the booth. I mean, we got Adam in with us today and Robert today. First round for them. I'm pretty confident I can say that they've had a good time watching it, and hopefully the viewers at home as well.
Thanks. I've raced Robert a few times, to be honest, and I'm glad to have you out. And obviously we've got the Radical thing coming in as well. So bigger and better. We'll keep going forward, and thanks for broadcasting this for us. It's nothing without you guys.
And that was Mike Broomhead, series organizer, closing us out for this broadcast here at the BiS 1600 season finale. And that's going to be the close of this race as well. We want to thank the BiS 1600 series and Michael Broomhead for bringing us on for this season, and thank everyone on the team who helped us cover the series this year. Joe, Joey, Robert, Daniel, Zippy in the Pits, and Dougie. Make sure to check out our social media, website, and merchandise store, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well so you don't miss a moment here on GSRC. Be sure to also check out our other broadcasts on the screen that are going to be listed here. And up next for GSRC is the RTA GR86 series. That's tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern. But until then, we hope you've enjoyed joining us this season as much as we've enjoyed bringing this racing to you, and we hope you'll come back and see us soon. But until next time, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.
Yeah.